Ron, thank you so much, sir, for coming on the program tonight. Great talking to you.
It's my pleasure.
And I got to say, first of all, thanks for covering this story because it has not gotten a lot of attention out there. But it is fascinating that Mayors Against Illegal Guns is actually placing people, paid employees, in city halls around the country.
Well, that's why it fascinated me. Columnists like I am with a newspaper are always looking for good tips or weird stories that would have, you haven't seen them before. So that's why I just dived into this one when I saw, what are we talking about here? This was one of the, if you stop and think of it, this is kind of like taxpayer-funded gun control. What's that about?
Right.
So that's why I dug into it.
Yeah, so this is basically it's an offshoot of Mayors Against Illegal Guns, right? It's a
Exactly, yes.
foundation.
Yep, it's actually it's been around for a while. One of the problems that we've had with this is nobody's really paid attention to it until we had just very recently, I think it's maybe not even a month ago, that we had a blogger down in Florida, and it's a pro-gun guy who hadn't seen his name before, and he had come across this while he's looking for something else. He happened to see, here's the guy named Sean Carana. He just stumbled across these gun control guys while he was looking for something else. And what he saw was the Orlando City Council's website had a contract renewal notice for a city employee that had the job title Mayors Against Illegal Guns Regional Coordinator. That's a city employee.
Apparently so now. And again, this isn't just Orlando. I mean, this is happening, all around the country. You talk about Dave Workman doing some digging, and he found out, that Seattle, Washington, had one of these coordinators. I guess one of the questions now is how many of these folks are out there?
Well, we don't know, but talked to Dave about that, and Dave Workman is a very good researcher. I was impressed by his work because by the time I talked to him, he had already found, I think probably 8 or 10, and I think we know about a dozen of them now. Cities, pretty good-sized cities: Milwaukee, Madison, Wisconsin, Columbus, Ohio, as well as Seattle, and there's some others out there. There's a couple of cities in like Reading, Pennsylvania. I think they have just closed their shop down for that gun control guy on taxpayer money. And there was one other slips my mind now, but I think there's at least that. But what was really surprising, let me tell you what this is, aside from the taxpayer money, get this, philanthropic foundations have been giving millions into this program since about, at least 5 years now.
Millions,
so
you say?
That's a stunning surprise.
Absolutely. I mean, think about for a second, Ron, what the media reaction would be if it were uncovered that the NRA Foundation had been doing the exact same thing, paying
you'd be tarred
three-quarters
and feathered.
I mean, can you imagine the coverage that would receive? The NRA has been placing pro-gun staffers in city halls around the country. I mean, that would be the lead story on the nightly news.
Tell me, yeah.
And yet, when here you've got an established anti-gun group led by an anti-gun mayor who just, exhibited his nanny state tendencies yesterday by wanting to ban soda over 16 ounces, and he's actually putting his minions, for lack of a better word, in these positions in City Hall and saying, look, if you pick up $24,000 of the salary and healthcare expenses and everything else, we'll pick up the rest. We'll pay $60,000 towards this individual's salary. What a great deal for these cities.
No, not bad. Somebody gives you free money, you take it.
Well, exactly right. So, Ron, I mean, other than sunlight, what should we be doing when we look at a story like this?
Well, first thing is just get around. Make sure that people hear about it, and that's one of the reasons I did a column on it, that just to wake people up a little bit in the readership. And, of course, it's got an online version as well as the print news in the Washington, D.C. area, so that people nationwide and in other countries even can find out what's going on. That's step number one. Then the other step is got a propaganda mill that's being foisted on people, that's being paid for partially, and it's true that foundations have been generously giving their funding to it. But these foundations are ones like the Joyce Foundation that Barack Obama was once on their board of directors. This is before he was a senator, even. So, these people of like mind go back a long way. But the next thing to do, I think, is let's talk to our regulators about regulating the regulators. I think that's only fair. If they're going to regulate us, maybe we ought to trade places.
Wow. Yeah, there you go. Hey, Ron, thank you again, sir, for coming on the program. Great talking to you, and I hope we can do it again soon.
My pleasure.
Ron Arnold, Executive Vice President of the Center for Defense of Free Enterprise, writing about this scandal in the pages of the Washington Examiner.